Tangerine Website, a project in fulfillment of the PROTECS grant, Spring 2003, by Melissa Knabe. Overview of the unit. The purpose of this unit was to teach research methods to 7th graders and connect students to unfamiliar elements of mise en scène in Edward Bloor's novel Tangerine. When I taught the novel last year, students and I spent some time using a hot list I developed to get to know elements of setting and plot devices in the novel. Students were not overly enthusiastic about the hot list. It came across as another form of direct instruction or lecture. Following the novel, students wrote a research paper in MLA format using at least 4 sources, in which they connect the elements of mise en scène to outcomes in the novel. Turn-in for this project was low. This year I decided to get students more involved in the process. Advanced students were given several research topics related to the novel and asked to choose the one that most interested them. Using those choices, students formed research groups for the duration of the project. Students divided the research and other labor for the project and used several Web 2.0 tools to create a website and a series of research documents. Students collaborated using Google Docs, Google Sites, and Delicious. In Google Docs, students wrote and peer-reviewed research papers about an element of Tangerine. Students were encouraged to use the web to find sources and were taught how to evaluate the information they found for relevancy, accuracy, bias, authority, detail, and currency. Students wrote the research papers as a group and checked for MLA format in source citations and on the Works Cited page. Students used their research documents as a basis for information to include in the website. They included pictures and cited the sources for those as well within the site. Students shared links to information using Delicious and used their Delicious accounts to create a resource list on the web. The site the students built was used to teach the information to other members of their class and to the rest of the 7th grade English classes. Students continue to use the site to conduct ongoing literature circle discussions and to blog about the novel. Tech Library Media Standards. This project covered Technology Standards 1 through 4. Successes and challenges. The turn-in rate for the research documents was much higher than for last year. Students enjoyed the project and would like to see more projects of this kind incorporated. They enjoyed taking on the role of teacher for their peers. Students dove into the project and generally remained engaged for the duration of it. We were not without challenges, however. Gmail access has been intermittent at best, although other G apps have worked smoothly. This made creating accounts linked to my Gmail, which is the only way I can get around the school's student email filters, nearly impossible from school, and I had to do much of this at home, where my connection makes molasses strips look like Formula 1 racing. Another challenge was that students were not familiar with the tools prior to the lesson, and a lot of our initial lab time was spent teaching the tools rather than the content. Finally, the video that was taken while students were in the lab was corrupted, so we had to settle for the less exciting video of students presenting their project to the class. Advice to others tackling this unit? If I were to teach this unit again, I would pre-teach the tools. Using the grant equipment in the regular classroom to teach the tools and give students some practice with them prior to entering the computer lab would be helpful. Less lab time would be necessary, and students would be more likely to be engaged in the tool instruction than whatever they could find of interest on the web at the time.